Are you just starting your journey into product management and want to get ahead in 2024? Well, in this video, I'm going to talk about 15 common terms and concepts used by product managers every day. Clear the jargon and get clear insights. Ready to begin? Let's make you a pro one term at a time. Hey, my name's Akash. I have a decade of product experience. I'm a Harvard MBA grad and angel invest in startups. On this channel, we talk about ways to level up your product management skills and career. Let's go. So I've broken up the terms into 3 different buckets based on the 3 parts of the product management role. Those specifically are choosing the right problems to solve, defining what success looks like, and working and executing with the team for the product's success. Let's start over here with choosing the right problems to solve. North Star metric. This is a single term or metric that you can rally against for your specific product or for your entire organization. This defines the strategy, the go-to-market, the product trade-offs, and multiple other discussions because you know exactly what the objective or the North Star metric is for your product and for your organization. For example, Uber's North Star metric is the number of trips being taken through the platform. And so that's the single metric that they are always focused on improving and changing with every product improvement and introduction. Next, churn rate. So the churn rate defines how many of your customers are leaving you every month or every year. There are monthly churn rates and there are annual churn rates. The objective obviously is to keep the churn rate as low as possible, but having a view and clear, transparent churn rate is important so that you understand how the business is doing. Just acquiring a bunch of customers isn't enough. You have to keep your churn rate low in order to make sure that your active customer base remains high. Agile. So Agile is basically a methodology that's used by most tech companies today when they're executing and building products. It's basically a flexible and iterative project management approach where the team goes through software development that empathizes flexibility, customer feedback, and rapid iteration. Let's go over here. So DAO and MAU, or DAUs and MAUs. This stands for daily active users and monthly active users. This is again a metric that tells you how the business is doing, and it tells you exactly how many unique customers were active for your business or for your product on a particular day or a particular month. DAOs and MAUs are typically seen in a time series where you look at what is the growth or reduction in DAOs and MAUs from one day to the next or from 1 month to the next, plotted against the full month or for the full year. Early consumer startups look for 100 to 500% DAO growth per month, while mature companies like Netflix and Uber probably would be very happy with single-digit DAO growth from year to year. Painted door test. This is a very interesting methodology that's used by a lot of product managers where they build the front end or landing page for a product and then wait for customers or users to actually click on that, but they haven't built the actual product behind it, and when you click on it, all you see is a coming soon button. This was actually used by Airbnb a lot in its early days, and I have a video that covers exactly that. But a painted door test is a great way for product managers to get signals from their users about what new features they're interested in using without actually building those features. Kanban. So this is grouped under the agile methodology of building. Kanban is a type of board that was actually developed initially at Toyota, where you have items to be picked up, work in progress, and finished items. And the goal is to keep the work in progress items as low as possible. So only when things move from work in progress to the finished state is when you pick up new projects and put them in the work in progress state. This is something that's used by agile teams for software development, and it's something that is very important for product managers to understand while they're working with their engineering leads or project managers or other counterparts that help them in the execution of the products. Customer lifetime value. This is a metric that looks at the total lifetime value for a customer, or the total amount of revenue that a customer will generate for your business throughout their lifetime. So if a customer's lifetime is projected to be 7 months, you look at the revenue that a particular single customer will bring in over 7 months, or if it's 18 months, it would be over 18 months, etc. The customer lifetime value number dictates how much you would spend on acquisition and marketing activities to actually bring the customers into the business. A low CLV obviously means that you don't want to spend too much on marketing because you're not going to make that back through the lifetime of the customer. Scrum is an agile methodology for managing complex projects. This is done through iterative and incremental progress. It structures work into cycles called sprints, each sprint lasting between 2 to 4 weeks, where the team goes through, iterates on the problems, comes up with solutions, and actually builds and releases something at the end of each sprint. Scrum requires a Scrum Master role, which is typically something that's done by the engineering manager or engineering leads. Differentiation. So differentiation is something very important when you are thinking about the right problems to solve. If you don't have differentiation, meaning if you don't have something in your solution that makes your solution different from the competition or from what the customers are currently already doing, there is no reason for the customers to adopt your product. Without clear differentiation, you are not going to achieve a significant outcome with your products. And so thinking about differentiation very early in the product's life cycle is critical and important to ensure the product success. For example, the iPod's differentiation was that it could store 1,000 songs in your pocket, whereas other MP3 players could only store about 100, as well as the iPod's scrolling and navigation features, which were far superior from the other MP3 players of the time. Monetization. Monetization is basically a term that describes how your product is going to make money. Monetization can be in many different models based on usage or a subscription or a cut from the actual transactions that are being made. I did an entire video that talks about the total 8 ways in which any startup can make money, and that covers all 8 types of monetizations. So make sure to check that out next. NPS. NPS stands for Net Promoter Score, and it's a way of getting feedback from your customers with a very specific prompt and question in mind. You've probably seen this prompt very often, where it asks you how likely are you to recommend this product or service to your friends and colleagues. That is basically what feeds into an NPS score. The individual score being given by a single user can range from 1 to 10, and the total NPS that is calculated based on the weightages of different buckets of customers can range from -100 to +100. Anything above 0 is typically seen as good, anything above 30 is great, and anything about 50 is exceptional. Scope creep. Scope creep is something that happens during the execution of a project, where product managers, designers, or salespeople add additional features and capabilities required from the engineering team. This means that the scope is constantly increased, which leads to overrun of budget, of timelines, or of resources. As a product manager, you want to be very cognizant of scope creep. There will always be some amount of scope creep, but you want to make sure that it stays within a limit so that your timelines or budgets are not getting highly affected. GTM. GTM stands for go-to-market strategy or go-to-market motion, which essentially talks about how your product will be taken to market and what is the strategy that's going to be used. A comprehensive plan will outline how a company will launch a product to market, detailing target audiences, marketing strategies, and sales channels. The strategy aims to maximize the product success, making sure that it reaches the right people with the right messaging and to solve the right problems. Prototype. So a prototype is an early version of a product that is used to showcase to customers or to internal stakeholders how the product is going to function the UX and look and feel of the product. A prototype could be just a simple Figma design which is clickable and allows users to click buttons and see how the app would respond. Or it could be a low fidelity prototype which is actually built out where the most common flow has been built while the edge cases haven't been fully built. And finally, design thinking. Design thinking is a methodology of developing products and looking at ideas to come up with solutions. This was initially invented at a company named IDEO, where they looked at something called the double diamond as a way to expand and contract the ideas and solutions that are being looked at in order to come up with a solution. This is meant to be a way to empathize with your users, defining problems, ideating solutions, prototyping, testing, focusing on user-centric designs. So now that you know all of these terms, let me tell you the problem you will face. Knowing all of these terms makes communication better, but it won't help you actually building the skills needed to be a great product manager. For that, I've built a playlist here which goes through the 8 essential skills that are required for every product manager to be successful. So make sure to watch that next.